Alright people, Mike Salden here again. Welcome back to another Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth video. This is just my Platinum Trophy journey for the game. One of the most fun Platinums in the series, to be honest. Nothing really too grindy about it. You didn't have to 100% everything in the completion checklist. And you basically unlocked everything from just like exploring and trying out everything at least once. And there wasn't really anything that's gonna stop people getting this platinum. Although I suppose at the end, the final dungeon crawl to Amon and getting Ichiban to level 70 was a little bit tedious. The last 5 levels or so to get him to like level 70. But other than that, most of these trophies here, these were all like story stuff. Not a total waste. This was for this was for picking up an item out of a toilet. Again, pretty funny little trophy there. Um, let's see, this trophy, having fun yet? I think that was for trying like 10 mini games. Again, you didn't have to like get a perfect S rank on every game and like just completely master every mini game in this one. They were very lenient with it. And basically they just wanted you to try everything at least once and sort of like complete every side quest. Well, not every side quest, like 40 sub stories, and just try everything at least once, and you sort of will naturally head towards the platinum in this one. Again, most of these were just story chapter completion stuff. Um, I try to take my time with it, do a lot of side stuff, and then advance the story. And I was always getting naturally leveled up at least once or twice each chapter. Well, in the early chapters, I was getting leveled up like 10 times. But later on in the later ones, I was still going up at least one level each time. Again, this was a Sujimon trophy. This was, I think, for just recruiting your first Sujimon. That's the little Pokemon knockoff in the game. Pretty funny that this game has a Pokemon League when everybody was on about PAL World and how controversial that game was. And Infinite Wealth seems to have slipped by unnoticed with its Pokemon party. It seemed to get away with it, where everybody was pretty mad about PAL World for some reason. But yeah, there's an entire Pokemon League in this game. You do have to fully complete it, and it's like side stories, and there's quite a few trophies related to it. Um, but again, most of these just story related stuff. I would actually recommend just sticking to the main story and then like leaving a lot of side stuff until the end game in Premium Adventure when you're really like leveled up. This is if you're like a trophy hunter, of course, and you want to platinum the game. It was best to like save all your money and be leveled up and be really powerful and stuff, and then you could just like get the last few trophies pretty easily. 30 minutes or it's free, this trophy. This was just for completing the little crazy taxi sort of party, the crazy delivery. Sicko Snapper, this was just for taking pictures in the little mini game where you take pictures of the weirdos who are dancing around Hawaii. You get on the bus and just take pictures of them as you go along. Pretty funny little mini game. Again, you didn't have to S rank it or master all of them. You just had to complete each stage. There was the easy, medium, and then hard mode. And it was all pretty simple, to be honest. This platinum will really feel like a breeze to anyone who's like platinum the other Yakuza games or Judgment games. You'll probably be like really relaxed during this one. You don't even have to play Mahjong if you don't want to in this one. It did help me level up some of Ichiban's personality stats by completing some Mahjong, but there are other ways you could have got that up. Like, let's see, this one I think Sujimaniac. I think that's just for like getting 100 different Sujimon into your like Sujimon decks. Just logging 100 different enemies into it. Photo Hunter, I think this was for getting 30, like, sort of these tourist landmark locations. both Kiryu and Ichiban have like a stamp book of like all these different places to take pictures of. And that's how you get that one. Precious Memories. I think this is just for collecting 30 of Kiryu's memories from all the past games. It was very nostalgic playing as Kiryu. If you've been playing since 2005 or whenever the first game came out, it's like 20 years later now. And it really hit hard. A lot of the side stories with Kiryu and all his memories, it really paid off. And it's quite unlike anything else I've seen in gaming, to be honest. I don't think there is another series that has followed the same character with the same actor playing the character for like 20 years and showing the character's entire life from like age 18 to age 60 or something like that. It's really quite a mind blowing achievement when you think about it. And I don't think any other game series will ever pull anything like this off again. Could be wrong, but I just don't think most series they kind of like to switch it up more often. Like we have moved on to Ichiban in these games now as the main character, but yeah, they brought Kiryu back for this one to give him like a proper send off because a lot of people weren't that happy with 6, and they felt like there was a bit more left to be said with Kiryu, and I think that's why they brought him back. Some people were also mad that like we'd moved on to Ichiban and then they're running back to Kiryu again. But Kiryu and Ichiban, they definitely complemented each other in this game, to be honest. Like they bounced off each other really well, and they didn't like overshadow each other. Like Ichiban definitely gets like almost the same amount of screen time as Kiryu, or like a bit more than Kiryu, to be honest. Um, don't hate the player again. That was another mini game related trophy. I got that during this dating mini game where you like go and hang out with various dates that you can get on the like hookup app in the game, the mismatch app. Pretty funny mini game. Um, this one, Aloha Happy as Can Be. Again, I think that's just for unlocking 8 different jobs using the little Aloha tourist company thing. Um, Something from nothing. I think this was for just crafting like 10 weapons at the like the little workshop. Again, in the last Like a Dragon, I think you had to craft one of everything, and that was a bit grindy. But in this one, nah, they're just like, yeah, just craft 10 weapons, that'll do. They don't really want to like drag anything out in this one, because the game is long enough without adding like an even longer trophy grind to it. I think they realized that these days. Um, and really, the contrast from going to this game from Like a Dragon Ishin, which had one of the grindiest platinums I've ever seen, when it like was a trophy set that was originally designed in like 2014, and comparing that now to Infinite Wealth and how much more like relaxed and fun it is, you can sort of definitely tell they've relaxed their platinum trophy requirements these days. And they're like, what if we actually wanted people to 100% the game and didn't make it crazy or make it so you have to spend like 100 hours mastering like 20 different mini games. Uh, Again, this was another trophy for the memories, Kiryu's memories. Again, it was really one of the highlights of the game, going through and getting all Kiryu's memories. So much nostalgia, so much of it just brought me right back to where I was in my own life when I was playing these games. Um, a lot of different memories and different times in my life that I've been able to measure in what Yakuza game I was playing at the time. Again, it is pretty crazy what they managed to achieve with Kiryu and the series and how it's evolved over 20 years and just following this one man's life like so closely, and the towns and cities that he's inhabited and seeing how they've changed. It's just, again, I don't think any other game had that kind of impact. Shenmue was trying to do something like that, following one character's entire life, um, over a really long span of time, but unfortunately it never really got its chance to properly shine. And these days, Yakuza has kind of come out and overshadowed Shenmue and been the one that's kind of taken off and just gets more and more popular with each release. I think this is the fastest selling Like a Dragon game now. It reached 1 million sales within the first week, which for a lot of our series that sounds like small time, but for Yakuza that's like insane numbers, like a number you can't even like imagine. Most of them take like maybe a full year to hit 1 million, and this one's like done it in the first week, so it's probably going to be their biggest hit, and I'm really happy about that, to be honest, because the series does deserve to be recognized. And I actually think Kiryu and maybe even Ichiban's actors, they should be up some for some sort of voice acting or just in general acting award at the Game Awards this year. For some reason, the Game Awards have been ignoring Yakuza for like its entire existence. I think last year it was up for most anticipated game. It lost to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Um, which you can sort of expect because Final Fantasy is such a bigger series than Yakuza. But it was nice that Yakuza or Like a Dragon finally had some stage time at all. And hopefully this year it is recognized a lot more with some more categories, because I think the voice actors in particular for Ichiban and Kiryu, like they absolutely deserve the recognition at this point, especially Kiryu's voice actor. Um, because he did a like fantastic job in this game. Again, I'm going off kind of track of the trophies here because again, most of them were just story stuff. Uh, but Apex Dragon, I think that was for getting level 50 with Ichiban. Again, it sort of did that naturally, just going through the story and doing like a fair bit of side stuff. Um, Superhuman, I think that was for getting all of Ichiban's no, for getting one of Ichiban's personality stats to level 10. There is another trophy later for getting all of them to level 10. It was kind of hard to do, I guess, because you had to go through quite a few different like mini games and stuff, sort of pick which one up to what level. But again, if you were just playing the mini games naturally and doing a bit of everything, you probably won't be that far away from getting all his stats to 10 by the end of the game. And I think it was a lot simpler than in Like a Dragon, the original one, where I think to get his personality stats to the max, you had to rely sort of on those can't even speak anymore. Those Hong Kong characters who you could pay to put up his personality stats. Um, and they were really hidden, and some of them refused to show up all the time, and it was a bit tricky. But yeah, this one again, everything was sort of just naturally unlocking by the time I got to the end of the game. The Suju League champion, of course, you had to complete the Sujumon League, uh, complete that and do all its side stories, and then you got a trophy for that. Pretty fun side mission. The man who regained his name, obviously that was for beating the main story. Um, Very emotional ending. I'm not quite sure how I feel about where they left off with Kiryu and stuff, but I did think it was like an overall better send off than six. Just overall in terms of the like story and the memories you got to see with Kiryu, it felt like a lot more grandiose and theatrical. Dondoku Island. This is the like Animal Crossing sort of mini game where you just go to an island and build your own island, your own resort, and invite guests to it. It's basically a business mini game again. There's quite a few trophies related to it. I saved it until after the main game because it felt like something you would really get lost in and distracted by. And I just wanted all my money and abilities and stuff leveled up so that I could just go off to the island, just complete that side story. It was really fun and quite addictive, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it to be as addictive as it was, but I just really got into gathering resources, getting all these guests over here, You had to invite 100 guests, I think, for this island hospitality trophy. And to get the S rank ones to come, you had to get your island leveled up to the max. Of course, Ruffians Beware. I think this was just for beating the final boss in Ichiban's dungeon in Hawaii, the Hawaiian Haunt. It was Unamichi and his 5 assistants. You had to beat them down. And then, of course, the final dungeon trophy was for Dungeon Sweeper. That was for beating Jewelmon. Uh, and then I think I had to level up to level 70 with Ichiban. And then you get the legendary dragon trophy here. That took a little while. The last 5 levels were a bit grindy. You had to keep running the final dungeon over and over again. And then once I got that on the same footage, I also got the platinum trophy. Again, great time, great game, highly recommend it. It's definitely should be up for game of the year in my opinion.